and create lasting impact. And today I have my special guest. One of his advocacy helping business owners increase production with teams that work together so you can enjoy more money in the bank. None other than Mr. Eric Svedberg.
Thanks for having me, Daniel.
Welcome, Mr. Eric on Entrepreneurship 101. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I missed?
Well, I have been in the automotive space for over 30 years, and a few years back, I started coaching other businesses. I still have my automotive shop, but get a lot of joy and passion from helping entrepreneurs, business owners, and service-based businesses, become more professional, have better employees, better customers, better profits, leadership, finance, the whole nine yards.
Certainly, and thank you for that advocacy, Mr. Eric. Money, come to me, as you said. And today, let's talk about being the owner of European Autowerks and the founder of Fuel Coaching. So, Mr. Eric, you've spent over 30 years at the European Autowerks and how you're coaching others through fuel coaching. When someone asks you what you do, or do you lead with shop owner or the coach?
Right now, I lead with coaching because the business itself, European Autowerks, runs on its own. I have a manager, it's self sustaining. So, my focus over the last few years has all been on coaching.
Interesting, Mr. Eric. How was the turning wrenches on European cars for 3 decades made you a better coach? What did fixing cars teach you about fixing businesses?
Well, it's really running the business of fixing the cars. I guess there would be some similarities. Something is broken, you have to figure out what's broken, and then you have to fix what's broken. And sometimes you have to add things, add parts, something like that. So, business is the same way. So, when I'm introduced to a business owner, usually they're in my world for a reason. Sometimes they just want to be able to scale. Sometimes they feel that their business is broken, that they're not making enough money. So we go and we use the theory of constraints. We find what the bottleneck is, and then we solve that bottleneck. Once that's solved, we move on to the next bottleneck. And what I've found is sometimes it's marketing, sometimes it's sales, sometimes it's finance, sometimes it's leadership. So it could be anything.
Certainly. Conversely, has coaching other entrepreneurs changed the way you run European Autoworks? Have you caught yourself applying your own advice back to the shop floor?
I have. I'm a firm believer that you can learn from anyone, anywhere, any person on this earth. You can learn something from them. So, I've learned things from business owners I've coached. Also, when a business is having a certain issue, sometimes I'll come up with a strategy or a framework, and I will test the framework on my own business first. And once I do that, I then, would coach that business or several businesses on that framework.
There is a massive difference between fixing a mechanical problem and fixing leadership problem. Which one's harder to diagnose?
Leadership for sure. People are resistant to change, so therefore they think they're doing it the right way. They kind of have to get into the gutter a little bit before they're willing to accept help or willing to accept that they might need to look inside to see how they're handling their leadership position, whether they're handling employee disputes, handling how an employee acts, or how they want that employee to do the work of the business. The mechanical side, once something's broke, it's broke. So it's pretty, once you figure it out, you get the new, you know, widget, whatever that might be, install it, you're good to go. But yeah, mindset, leadership, dealing with employees, that's much harder.
Definitely, it's much harder, people. It's easy to detect if the car is broken than the leader itself. You've been at European Autowerks in Virginia Beach for over 30 years. What does the business look like today?
Well, I've been in the automotive business for 30 years. I had shops before European Autoworks, so I've had European Autoworks approximately 7.5 years. What that looks like today, when I purchased European Autoworks, so I could get a hold of the property. That's why I really wanted is to own land that my shop was on. It was doing well south of $1 million, and so we have now scaled it to about 3.7 million with we feel the shop can do 5 million. So within a couple years, we'll probably scale it to 5 million.
Interesting, Mr. Eric, and congratulations for that. Running a high-end European auto shop for 3 decades, you've seen economic booms, downturns, and massive industry shift. What was the single most painful lesson that the business taught you that you now teach your coaching clients?
Um, Especially early in my career, where I cash flow was important, and to conserve and have cash and have a nest egg, um, or a savings account. 3 to 6 months is what I coach. Early in my career, I didn't have that. And, I could make money, but I could spend money with the best of them. So later on, as I went, I started hoarding more cash. And so, therefore, the downturns or economic crisis or COVID uh, didn't hit near as hard as it hit other people because I had cash reserves. So I always coach businesses to save for that rainy day. Do whatever they have to do to save. Do not live on the edge. It's not worth it. And it becomes very stressful. And it also can really affect an entrepreneur's health when they have the stress of not being able to pay bills, payrolls coming up. The business might be failing. That economic downturn, like you just said, is extremely hard on your health and your mental well-being. So that's why I try and get them into the right mindset of saving. Cash is king.
Save, save, save for the better future, people. At what point did you realize that being a great technician didn't automatically make you a great business owner? What are the specific aha moment?
This is going way back. I think it's just dedication to learning um, whatever skill set you need for the position you're doing. So when I was a technician, I had to learn a certain skill set. And I was a technician. I wasn't just always a business owner. I bought my business when I was 22, but before that, I was a technician. I was then a working business owner, so I continued to fix cars and own the business. But I did have to learn a new skill set. I had to learn the financials, profit and loss statements, cash flow, um, balance sheets. I had to understand the legal side of it. I had to understand the tax side of it. I had to understand what we talked about earlier, the leadership side of it, where you're hiring and you're firing. I had to build my culture because you hire, inspire, and fire all based on your culture. So all that, just a different skill set. But I was dedicated and I made it happen.
Definitely, and again, congratulations for doing that. You work with service based business owners now. How much of what you teach come directly from mistakes you made at European Outerworks first?
Oh yeah, I mean, constant mistakes. I think every entrepreneur is going to make mistakes, but also it's sometimes trial and error. So, entrepreneurs are, famous for, just coming up with new ideas. That's what makes us, entrepreneurs. And, not all those ideas work. And sometimes your employees get sick of all your new ideas. So you got to be careful with how many new ideas you come up with. But, all the mistakes I made along the way, whether that was a marketing mistake, whether it was a financial mistake, buying the wrong piece of equipment, not having enough cash. All those mistakes I've tried to learn from and then pass on so that others don't make those same mistakes.
Well, thank you for doing that. When you started fueling coaching, what was the hardest part of the transition? Was it the learning to coach, or was it the learning to market yourself as something other than the shop owner itself?
Um, the marketing is obviously much more difficult because sometimes people are resistant to ask for help. So therefore, you have to engage. You have to, get on stages like I'm on a stage right now with you. You have to have a name out there so that people can recognize who you are and what you do. I'm in a bunch of Facebook groups as well, automotive Facebook groups, and I try and bring a bunch of value there and try and help, try and engage in conversations. And then some people will then reach out, or I reach out to them saying, "Hey, I got this thing. Would this thing help you?" The coaching side of it feels pretty natural to me, but not everyone is coachable. So I've had a bunch of great clients that lean in, that learn, that do the hard work. Just they're like sponges; they soak it all in, and they can really see the difference they're making in their business and their life because it's not all about money; it's their personal life as well. And then I have um, sometimes I've had some coaching, opportunities where it was very difficult. Many times it's because I'm trying to coach a manager. Therefore, the business owner wanted the manager coached and not themselves, but the business owner is the one paying. So the manager is not paying. And so there's a saying, when you pay attention. And so if the person's not paying, they're not quite as invested as the owner itself if they were paying and I was coaching them. So sometimes that's not a very good fit. But on the other hand, I have some managers I coach as well in a group. So I have a group coaching program as well. And those managers lean in, they do the hard work, they ask great questions, and they're not paying the bill. So it all depends on the individual and what they want to get out of the program, what they are willing to learn, and whether they're willing to dig deep and look inside and say, hey, I think I can do better.
Exactly, Mr. Eric. Thank you so much for that. In your media, you talk about helping owners boost profit and discover joy. In your experience, which one usually has to come first for the other to follow?
Um, Usually, the profits have to come first before the business owner feels joy. But I try and change their mindset on that. So every coaching call I start with two questions. Well, there's more than two, but this for this question, this part's relevant. So I ask them what's their financial win for the previous week, and I ask them what their personal win is for the previous week. And they have a much easier time answering the first question, the financial win. They have a very difficult time answering the personal win. But once we get into enough weeks and months, and then I really push them to try and think outside the box, to think what they could do with their family, with their friends, what could make something even better in their personal life. All of a sudden, the joy starts coming and the personal wins start getting better every week. So it's like I said before, there's more to life than just money. There's more to life than just business. You need to have joy in life. You have to have friends. You have to have family. You have to have a healthy body. You have to have a good mindset. You have to find joy in whatever you have in life that's around you.
Very well said, Mr. Eric. And you emphasize structure systems, clear metrics, and even AI tools. For the skeptical shop owner who just want to fix cars, how do you convince them that data systems are the path to freedom, not just more overhead?
Yeah, the if you're going to be an entrepreneur, it doesn't have to be a shop owner, and you're trading time for money. So you're the one doing the work, and you're trading time for money. that's not going to get you except so far. Um, there's very few businesses that, it's just run on one person. Um, but if you'd like to build a successful business that doesn't burn you out, that's sustainable, then you have to hire other people. You have to build it. You have to scale it to whatever point you feel you want to get to, with whatever goal you have for that business. And if you'd like to do that easier, then you need systems. You need a system for every part of the business. It makes it so that when you hire someone, they know what's expected when you train them on that system. And that's the core foundation of any business that wants to scale from, an owner that feels like they want to do it all, to an owner that actually has a real business that is just not grinding away every single day.
Definitely interesting, Mr. Eric. And now that you're building a fuel coaching, what is your bigger vision? Do you want to build a larger coaching firm or keep intimate, a high impact?
Well, my long-term goal, sometimes they call it a BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal, is to improve the lives of 5 million people. And I'm going to do that through a few things. Number one, my coaching. Number two, I'm writing a book. Number three, how I give money away to charities and something like that. How I do speaking events. Hopefully, someone on this call, I can improve their life. They take something from this call and it improves their life somehow. So that's my BHAG. My big audacious goal is to improve the lives of 5 million people. And the way I think about it sometimes is, if I can help a business owner in all aspects, their personal and their professional life, and that person has a family, hopefully I'm helping their family. And if that person has employees, hopefully I'm helping them improve their lives. And if those employees have families, hopefully I'm affecting those families in a positive way. So I could coach one person and hopefully affect 100 people.
Certainly, certainly. So, if you had to summarize the single biggest difference between a shop owner who plateaus at 1 million and one who scales at 8 figures while keeping their sanity, what is it?
Systems and processes, and hiring great people. And you're always going to have 20% of the people coming and going. That's just kind of the norm. But if you build the people build the business. And if you have the right systems and you can show the people those systems, and that you're all going on this journey together to this wherever, never land, wherever the business owner creates their vision, and you want these people to come with you to that, mountaintop, you can definitely scale. The hardest thing is to scale to 1 million. The next hardest is 3 million, and then 5 million, and then of course 10 million. So if you can reach one, then you reach for the next. And it's not all about, top line revenue. You have to have the profit to go with it. So it's not just, there's a saying, um, sales or revenue is for show, and gross profit is for dough. So you have to remember to have the gross profit, not just the sales and revenue number.
Very well said, Mr. Eric. Very well said indeed. And what are your short term and long term goals as a founder as well as entrepreneur?
Let's see. Short-term goal is I'd like to buy a Fleming 55, which is a yacht. That's on my list to do this year. Last year, my goal was to pay my house off, my mortgage, which I did. Um, So that was a I took all the way to like the 28th of December, but I got it done last year. So this year's a yacht. Long-term goal is to really increase the coaching business, to have it portable so I can travel even more on the yacht and of course around the world, and to bring the coaching business with me, because with the internet I can coach from anywhere. And one day, whether it's 3 years from now, 5 years from now, whatever, I might sell the shop, European shop, and then invest that money more into the coaching side and see how I can give back and get to this 5 million person number that is my goal to long term to improve the lives of 5 million people.
Very well said. Mr. Eric, and good luck to your goals and looking forward for more success. And what will be your piece of advice for those people out there who want to be like you?
The best piece of advice is to build the plane as you fly it. So don't feel like you have to have everything in place, everything perfect to get out there and do something, to build a business, start a business. If you have an idea, there's a gap that you can fill with something you're good at, get out there and do it. Sell the product to somebody, one thing. If you can sell it to one person, you can sell it to 1,000 people, and just get out there and start. If you need help with anything like that, please find me at gofuelcoaching.com. You can book a call. I'll try and help. It's free. See where I could fit and bring value.
Give value indeed. And you talk about transforming a burnout into balance. What are the moment in your own 30-year journey where you personally hit burnout and what pulled you out?
I think when I hit burnout, I mean, it's clear that I was in the day to day grind, that I was trying to constantly put out fires. Um, I was the bottleneck. Everyone came to me with any issue that was going on in the business, and that will burn you out quickly. So when you start to have systems and you start to train people and they can, think on their own because this is the mission, this is the vision, this is how we do things at the shop. They can make those type of decisions based on all that information. All of a sudden, they don't have to come to you as much, and so you stop being the bottleneck. There's ways to make that happen easier. It's too much for this program, but it is definitely something I coach businesses on.
Certainly, certainly, Mr. Eric. And before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in sixth season, abstract poetry in third season, and of course my book 101 review in sixth season too, comedy 101 in fourth season, and of course my food 101 in sixth season as well. Geography 101, love letters, movie 101 review, music 101 are fifth season, science 101, sex 101 in its sixth season, spiritual awakening, trivia 101, coaching 101, law 101, mental health 101, and of course entrepreneurship 101 and Bible Verses 101 are my baby podcasts. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcasts. So, Mr. Eric, looking back at the 19-year-old Eric who first got into industry, what would you tell him about the relationship between the work and life well lived?
Uh, Make time for yourself. It's not all about business. Do not let money get into the way of relationships, which is very easy to do. It's the old, oh, I'm sorry, I can't be home for dinner. I had to work late. Don't even buy into that. Uh, if dinner's at 6 o'clock, leave that business and go home and eat dinner with your family.
Certainly give boundaries, people. Give boundaries to yourself. Give grace to us, Mr. Eric talking about. So can you please invite our listeners to support your coaching business, your outerworks, or whatever you want to promote on entrepreneurship 101, Mr. Eric?
Yeah, I have a lot of frameworks I can give away. Go to gofuelcoaching.com, hit the book your breakthrough call button. Let's talk, 20 minutes. If I can share a framework with you, I'd be happy to do that.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, people. And Mr. Eric, thank you so much for your time. And let's support Mr. Eric, because if you support him, for sure, more and more empowering coaching to come, more and more empowering business to rise. So, Mr. Eric, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Modicon people, see you soon.